right about now, because we have some succinct questions related to this global opportunity, Olakunle will be taking up now to ask you certain questions in light, maybe with just one or two or three questions. So Olakunle, are you still here with us? Please, over to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even though I'm preparing my luggage now, I want to leave Nigeria because I got information. Thank you very much.
You should better
Madam.
carry me along. We are only together.
No, we are both in this session. Thank you so much for that wonderful tips. In fact, right now my bag is getting set. Yes, we have some questions here already. Esther, I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Okay, so someone is asking, being a product manager. So the person is saying, having a background as a computer engineer, how do I start a career in product management?
Okay. I do not think you even need to have a background in computer science to get into product management in this age and time. If you want to get into product management, I think the first thing you should do is just go to YouTube and just Google product management and just see what it is about. I used to say that, see what it's about first, see if you like it before you then say, I want to fully, dab into it. So just go to Google, YouTube, just Google it, product management, get to know what it is about first. And then if you now see that this is a line you want to go to, you can either decide to get paid training from organizations that offer this and maybe offer you an internship after. Or if you're working in an organization that has a product management arm, you can speak to HR to job shadow in that department and then indicate interest. I transitioned from software development to product management, and it was an internal move I first did before, changing companies. So if you can do that, it's great. And then, of course, then start applying. But of course, you can start building, as I said, build a portfolio by doing certain product management tasks. So for instance, if you're learning about product management, you can start doing like a user research on a company and sharing your thoughts about it on LinkedIn. Do certain product management tasks, share it on LinkedIn, just so that you can build visibility. Do you get? And then hopefully you will get a job as you apply. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
But yeah, first explore it. You get, just check it out first.
Thank you very much. And I'm very sure the person that asked that question got it correctly. So the next question here, you mentioned earlier that we should not let marriage limit. In your words now, don't let marriage limit you. That's what it is.
The thought of marriage, the thought of like, I'm a woman and I have to marry, I have to travel, yeah.
Yes. So I think obviously the person is also a woman. So the person is asking, I don't want marriage to limit me, but then I'm not clear about how to document my journey. If marriage is, my traveling is tied to marriage, how do I document my journey? I don't know if...
I'm trying to understand the question, if it's okay. If marriage, say that again. I didn't get that last part.
Okay, so the person is saying, how do I document my journey such if my traveling is tied to marriage?
I think they're two different things, but maybe I don't have full context, right?
I think the person is trying to understand how to properly manage traveling and marriage. In case, you are meant to marry this month and you got your that same month. How do you manage? I think that's what
you have to talk to your partner, you get, and have an agreement, right? Then, of course, I feel like if you're going into any relationship in this age and time, you need to know whether that person is aligned with travel or not. If it's a deciding factor for you, do you get? You need to know that this person aligned with me traveling. If not, you need to have that conversation with them. But documenting your journey is independent of that. Whether you're married or single, document your journey. Share it on LinkedIn. Share it on everywhere you go to, or your Instagram. Document it. I'm married now, and I still document my journey. It doesn't stop me. When I was single, I documented my journey. I think they're independent of each other. Then married and travel, I think it's important, like I said, if you're in any relationship, to ask the person, are you open to traveling? Is this something that is a deal breaker for you? Do we go forward? So that if you have that dream, they are not coming to cut your dreams, you see. So I think that there are two different things. And as women, I think it's okay for you to dream and have good aspirations. You would find someone that aligns with it. But if you do not have any dream or any aspiration and somebody comes and tell you they don't want you to travel, you didn't have that discussion, so it may be tricky there. I really hope it helps. If not, please chat me up on LinkedIn or something, and I may be able to shed more light.
All right. Thank you very much, man. I believe the person that asked that question, we definitely reach out to you. So the last question here is talking about the opportunities you mentioned. The person is saying, okay, I think this is the same. Okay, what the person, I just want to paraphrase the question now. The person is saying, how do you choose the best country when you have two opportunities and the two are okay? How do you decide which is best? Based on your traveling experience, what advice?
I think it depends on your goals and then asking questions. Of course, I think as a Christian, I come from a Christian perspective first, the experience. Like I said, for me, my mind was on Canada. My mind was not in the UK. It wasn't. But when, I kept getting confirmation that, oh, this is a part you can do. I know, okay, the hand of God is in this. I can go into it. I think the first part is prayer. But then if you've prayed and then you still have opportunities, which sometimes it happens, then do your research. What field are you? What field thrives in that country? Who are the people that are living in that country that you know that you can talk to know what their experience is? What is, how is, it depends again on your goals. Are you single? Are you married? If you're married and you're looking to have children, how is child rearing in that country? Do you have community there? Do you get, these are some of the things you need to be asking yourself, like doing your research about. Just talk to your mentors too. What do you think about this country? I mean, this field, because not two countries are the same, and not two people will go to the same country and probably have the same experience. Do you see? So you need to do your research and then prayerfully trust God. And then if it doesn't work out, maybe you can try another country. That's where I see it. Yeah.
All right.
That helps.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, I think we should just take this person. This is the last question. The person is saying he's a Python backend engineer and he usually applies for remote jobs, but he doesn't receive responses from companies. How can he obtain a remote job in 2025?
That's a mix of several things. I would like HR representatives to share the bit of light, but I think you need to talk to people who have gotten in your field and ask them how they did it. This age and time, I think you have to network. For people that are Python engineers, I know that are also getting, or engineers, or even non-engineers who are getting opportunities in this time now where you stay. Can you ask them how they're getting this? But I would say that a good profile, giving it time, starting from somewhere and having a portfolio. And maybe if somebody is getting a deal, tell them, can I do this deal with you so I can build it as part of my portfolio? This may be able to help, you'll be able to help them. But I think I need to run now, if you don't mind.
All right. I think that's the last question. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll connect with you on LinkedIn, so continue. Right. Thank you. Bye. Mr. Nelson, I believe you are here with us. Yeah, I wish we have more time because I think many people are asking questions regarding your the way you articulated the responses. So I think because of our time, we'll just take two questions from the previous ones. So this person actually picked from your last statement. I guess the person just paraphrased that you don't like to hire people from your church. That's correct, right? So
let's not get it twisted, right?
Yes.
I give an example to say that I said 5 years ago, 6 years ago, once you come to an interview and you mention my church, or if you mention anything church, you have to overprove to me that you have sense before we even hire you. I'm being sincere, right?
Yes, you're right.
And that was because of the trend at the time. And if you've heard me speak 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, you know my passion was to raise God's people who are also marketplace giants. And so it took that intentionality for some of us, and some people have gone way ahead of us, to be to nurture and mentor. So the narrative has changed now. It's changing now, right? But you see, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I used to give an example. So you find somebody come to church and give testimony and say, for the last 10 years, they did not promote me. My manager has just my promotion. Thank God, my promotion has come after 10 years. The first question I will ask you is, in that 10 years, were there promotion happening in your team every year? If you say yes, then that's what you have come to share. It's not a testimony. Because you have not understood, is that a competence problem for you, or you have not understood how to navigate the workspace, but you have trust everything to God. So, when Christians suspend their brain that God has given them, suspend the place of competence, right, and just begin to. I worked in a place where somebody left work during work and said, I went for crusade. And then you expect that the MD will be happy with you. So we've seen so when I made that statement, it wasn't from the point of, I'm a Christian. Like I said, I've hired somebody now who's a Christian, right? Who works with me in my team. But a few years from ago, I wouldn't have, because of I know the intricacies. But as we speak now, I think that has changed. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that clarification. And you also added something loaded to the response. Okay, so the question now is, so what's the role of compromise when you have to get, of course, the suitable talent for a particular role? How do you compromise when you have two people almost the same competency? So what's the role of compromise?
Is this supposed to be an HR masterclass? So when you say
so I believe people that are here, they are entry level, mid level. Of course, some people are already established. So for people that are just starting, they really want to. Curiosity is actually making them asking these questions, and I think the questions are actually directed to you because you answer them from the right angle.
Yeah. So how do HR make compromise when there is two candidates of equal competence, right?
Almost, yes.
Now, on the candidate side, right? How are you sure that you equal competence, right? But let me answer that question. So when it comes to HR, right? I say that's why I would always say the God factor, right? For instance, look at this young man I mentioned I just hired. He joined my company a month ago. Great candidates. Of course, I didn't know he was my church member, so there was no bias, right? I liked him, but there was another lady as well who I liked, right? So it was more like the both of them. But somehow I then sat down and did my analysis. Okay, I need this person to be in the plants, right? I need somebody who can manage things, hold all of those managers by their jugular, get results out of it from the plant. This game might be soft. Let me go for the guy. And that's the bias. Yes. Every recruiter has their bias. Let's not even hype it or lie to ourselves. But the first criteria was, there was the competence that was. So before you bother about anybody's bias, that you should allow the God factor solve for you. First, be sure that you're competent and prove that competence in an interview. But can you totally eradicate the place of recruiter's bias? Maybe not. Because in the case where there are two candidates of almost equal competencies for a particular role, some sort of bias would then have to come in. Some sort of extra criteria that was not defined initially will have to come because they must hire just one person. So that is where, what was going to happen on the HR side or the hiring manager side, not HR now. HR does not make any decision. On the hiring manager side, but on the candidate side, that's where the God factor comes to play for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate. I believe this has actually clarified the doubts that anybody could have regarding that question. Faith, I don't know if we can take more questions or that is off from here. Can we take more questions?
Well, if we continue with question, we won't leave here. That's the truth. But I just want to Nelson has any key word or statement to drop with us. I understand he's really burdened to say many things to us, but for the sake of time, I just want to oblige if he can just give us a keyword. That will keep resonating with us.
So I would say that when it comes to the conversation of leading, right, whether as a job seeker or you currently have a job, something must stand you out. I'm one who believes in putting in the work and process. I'm not one who believes in sudden arrival or arriving suddenly. I'm one who believes that if you put in the work and you grind, With the God factor, you will get to whatever heights you want to get to. I'm also one who believes in shutting out the noise, shutting out people. Because one thing I keep saying is time will tell the difference. However you use your time, time will tell the difference. When I was serving, I remember very well that I used to, I was a state escort with the NCCF, right? And so that meant that I was always busy. Exactly. But at that time, you find out that was when I went to register for CIPM because I wanted HR at the time. So I was going from a Boeing to Enugu every weekend. I'll still run back and I'm going for an outreach, right? Because I wanted to do CIPM. In the middle of the night, so everybody's sleeping, I'm reading book, I'm doing one thing. That's when I did an N9, Nigeria Institute of Management certification, right? Yet I was busy, with executive work for NCCF. And some of my colleagues, one particular person said to me, he said, "Pray, you are so ambitious," and all of that. I just smiled. Just 2 weeks ago, I saw this person. I just shook my and I read that statement, right? And I shook my head, shaking my head because this person made a statement. The difference between me and this person is far and clear today, right? So people probably not believe in your vision, who see your grinding as you doing too much. Time will tell the difference. So instead of you to allow their grinding to silence you or put you down, whatever level of career you are, keep doing the work. There's more, right? Recently, even myself, I began to see the possibility of opportunities that are bound for me, and I'm reaching for some greater heights already. So there's no way level you have gotten to, right? There's more to it. There's more. And so for you to achieve that more, it is what competencies, what skills, what knowledge do I want to put together, and how do I get that more? Rather than listening to people who think that you have arrived and begin to hail you into oblivion. The Lord help us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson, for that perfect and accurate closing remark.
So thank you all for joining in. We've come to the end of today's session.